Bhagavad Gita, Dhyana Sloka, verse 1. Introduction to the Bhagavad Gita. There are two great epics in Hinduism. One is the Ramayana, the other one is the Mahabharata. Bhagavad Gita is a portion of the Mahabharata, the greatest epic. A bit more about the Mahabharata. It was written by Vedavyasa. I don't want to be explaining and taking this session to say who Vedavyasa is. You should be knowing who Vedavyasa is, the greatest saint ever who has lived on this earth. You should learn a bit more about Vedavyasa. That's all I would say. Google it, find out, and find who Vedavyasa is. He is the author of the Mahabharata, and thereby he becomes the author of the Bhagavad Gita also, because Bhagavad Gita is a portion of the Mahabharata. The Mahabharata has over 100,000 verses, of which these 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita is also a part of. It narrates the struggle between the good and the bad. Pandavas representing the good and the Kauravas representing the bad. Has 18 divisions. They call it as Parvas. Somehow Vedavyasa likes this number 18. So the Mahabharata itself has 18 Parvas. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters in it. The big war that happened between the Kauravas and Pandavas lasted for 18 days. There's so much of 18 within Mahabharata. It contains two invaluable gems, Srimad Bhagavad Gita in Bhishma Parva. I said it has 18 Parvas. One Parva is named as Bhishma Parva. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a portion of the Bhishma Parva. And the other greatest stotra I would say is Sri Vishnu Sahasranama. It is in Anushasana Parva within the Mahabharata. People say that the Mahabharata itself was written by Vedavyasa to contain, as a container for these two gems, which is the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Sri Vishnu Sahasranama. Okay, now coming to a bit background about the Bhagavad Gita. We zoom into Bhagavad Gita. The war becomes inevitable between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. They are at war. Bhagavan Sri Krishna becomes the charioteer for Arjuna. Sanjaya, the charioteer of the blind king Dhritarashtra, gets the capability from Vedavyasa to see what is happening in the battlefield. It is sort of a remote viewing. King Dhritarashtra doesn't have eyesight, so he has to get the narration from somebody. But if the narrator has to be sitting next to King Dhritarashtra, that person can't go to the battlefield and see. So Vedavyasa gives this capability to his charioteer Sanjaya. To his charioteer means Dhritarashtra's charioteer Sanjaya. And Sanjaya does this remote viewing and gives a live commentary of what is happening in the battlefield to King Dhritarashtra. This is the context. He uses this ability to give a live commentary of what is happening in the battlefield to King Dhritarashtra. Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue between Bhagavan Sri Krishna and Arjuna. Sanjaya sees and hears this through the divine power and narrates this to Dhritarashtra. Now, introduction to the Dhyana Shlokas. It is the tradition in India to pray to the Almighty before beginning anything important. It starts with a prayer. Any new thing that you would start starts with a prayer to the God. We are beginning our journey with Bhagavad Gita. To purify our mind and to focus on what we are learning, there are 9 Dhyana Shlokas written by, we really do not know whether they were written by Sri Madhusudana Saraswati. Normally these are attributed to a saint called Sri Madhusudana Saraswati. It is customary to chant these shlokas before we chant Bhagavad Gita. Okay, a bit of introduction there. Though these 9 shlokas are usually chanted by the Advaita school, it's about God, about the book itself. So there's no harm in others following in other monism or dualism, Dvaita, Advaita, or Visishta Advaita. It doesn't matter. This difference between Dvaita, Advaita, and Visishta Advaita, as Swami Vedukudi Swami says, it is only for the doctorates, the postgraduates, the experts. We are in primary school. It doesn't matter for us. Any prayer, whether it was written by Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, or Ramanujacharya, which is a prayer to the God, can be said by any of us. Okay, now Dhyana Shloka 1. Okay, let's start with Dhyana Shloka 1, which is Om. Okay, I do not have another person for me to say here and repeat, so I would say the repetition as well. The second time I say each word, you say it, so it becomes easy for you as if I am saying and you are repeating it. Om Partaya Partaya Pratibodhitam Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Bhagavata Narayanena Narayanena Swayam Swayam Vyasena Vyasena Gratitam Gratitam Purana Munina Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Madhye Mahabharatam Advaita Advaita Amrita Varshinim Amrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Bhagavatim Ashtadasha Ashtadasha Adhyayinim Adhyayinim Amba Amba Tvam Tvam Anusandadami Anusandadami Bhagavad Gite Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Bhavadveshinim. It's a nice prayer. It is sung like this. Okay, I am not a good singer, so you can listen to professional cassettes to see how it is sung. Let me try. Om Partaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusandadami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. Okay, now let us look at the word-to-word meaning. Om. Om is the monosyllable representing the Almighty. Partaya. For Arjuna, to Arjuna. Okay, why is Arjuna called as Partha? Because he is the son of Pritha, Kunti. Kunti's other name was Kunti is the daughter of Prithu Maharaj. So her name happens to be Pritha. Pritha. The son of Pritha is Partha. And Parthaya in Sanskrit means to Arjuna. Pratibodhitam, taught. It was taught. Bhagavad Gita was taught to Partha. By whom? Bhagavata. By God. Narayanena. By Narayana. Swayam himself. It was taught by Bhagavan Narayana himself to Partha. Vyasena. The next word is Vyasena. By Vyasa. Gratitam. Composed. Purana Munina. Ancient sage. By the ancient sage Vyasa. Madhye Mahabharatam. In the middle of the Mahabharata. And then Advaita Amrita Varshinim, the one who showers the nectar of Advaita. So don't get tense. Those who follow Dvaita, Visishta Dvaita, you can always think just to be showering Dvaita philosophy or Visishta Dvaita philosophy. Don't just ignore these Dhyana Shlokas just because of the word it says that it showers the nectar of Advaita. Again, I keep repeating the difference between Dvaita, Visishta Dvaita, or Advaita is for the doctorates. We are in primary. It doesn't matter to us. This is a nice prayer offered to the book itself, the Bhagavad Gita. So, chant it. This is worth it. Bhagavatim, the goddess. Ashtadasha Adhyayinim, the one in the form of 18 chapters. Amba, O mother. Tvam, you, thee. I worship thee. Anusandadami, I repeatedly invoke. Bhagavad Gita, O Bhagavad Gita, O Mother Bhagavad Gita, we see Bhavadveshinim, the destroyer of samsara. Bhavaha means samsara, birth, death, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. That cycle, that is called Bhavaha, samsara. She destroys that. So we are worshipping. If you this goes in the order in which it is appearing in the stotra. Okay, Om Partaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanaya Swayam. In some, you have to understand the meaning by doing something called Anvaya, which is rearranging the words like prose. So if you would slightly change that down, it doesn't start with Partaya. It says Amba Bhagavad Gita, O Mother Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Partaya Pratibodhitam, taught to Arjuna by Bhagavan Narayana himself. Purana Munina Vyasena Madhye Mahabharatam Grititam, recorded in the middle of Mahabharata by Vyasa, the ancient sage. Purana Munina Vyasena. Purana Munina is adjective to Vyasa. Vyasa is Purana Muni, the ancient sage Vyasa. Recorded in the middle, Madhye Mahabharatam Grititam, recorded in the middle of Mahabharata by Vyasa, the ancient sage. Advaita Amrita Varshinim, showers the nectar of Advaita. Ashtadasha Adhyayinim, in the form of 18 chapters. Bhavadveshinim, destroyer of samsara, birth and death. Bhagavatim, goddess, Tvam, Yudi, Anusandadami, I repeatedly invoke. Okay, so, meaning, Om, Mother Bhagavad Gita. Om is the monosyllable. We start with Om, O Bhagavad Gita. Okay, it would be nice if it had a OH there, but okay, typo I guess. O Mother Bhagavad Gita, goddess, who has imparted to Arjuna by Lord Narayana himself, who was composed in the middle of the Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa, who showers the nectar of Advaita, who is composed of 18 chapters. I constantly meditate upon thee, the destroyer of samsara. This sloka shows our reference to the book on hand, the Bhagavad Gita. We worship the Bhagavad Gita first because we are going to read Bhagavad Gita. So we are addressing Bhagavad Gita as Mother Bhagavad Gita, as the goddess Mother Bhagavad Gita. We are just explaining who she is. She was the one who was imparted to Arjuna by Lord Narayana himself, who was composed in the middle of the Mahabharata by whom? By the ancient sage Vyasa. What is she doing? She showers the nectar of Advaita, Advaita or Visishtadvaita. You can enrich it with whatever you like. Who is composed of 18 chapters. What are we going to do? I constantly meditate upon thee, O Mother Bhagavad Gita, the destroyer of samsara. I am going to read and then please help me in getting the samsara destroyed for me. That's the prayer. This shows our reverence to the book on hand, the Bhagavad Gita. Om Namo Narayanaya.